Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. Not only I hope people doing well, but I hope everybody's having a blessed day. I can tell you, I can assure you that, I'm having a good day. Having an actual fantastic day today. Today is my baby girl birthday, so just wanted to say happy birthday to my beautiful baby girl. Somebody who means the world to me. And, yeah, just happy birthday to her. But I wanted to come on here today, man. I said earlier, because of the lives I'll be going live today, and I'm back on live to talk about just on the topic of a hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. And I'm gonna get to it, but I hope everybody's doing well. And I want to give an explanation and explain some things to people. I know that, and I will restate it. As for people get on, I do have a correction I need to make. And I want to stay consistent with that because I'm not just playing about it. I'm not just talking about it. I actually mean it when I say it. But one of the things that I say, I'm talking about a hit dog. A hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is, I wanted to get this out the way. I misspoke the other day. The other day while I was on my live, I was going through it and I was talking about, the lights at the Francis Marion baseball field. And I made a statement that was wrong. I made a statement that Albert, deleted a post. He didn't delete the post. What it was Albert deleted me and blocked me from his personal page. And that was a thing that was from his personal page. So from his personal page, when I tried to click on it from my page, it popped up as it wasn't there. So I wanted to stand here and stand correct and correct myself that I misspoke when I said he deleted the post, because he didn't delete the post from the commissioner page. That was a post from his personal page. So like I always said, as loudly as I come and I make something, when I realize I'm wrong, I will be as loud as I was then. And I was wrong and I misspoke when I said Albert deleted that post, because he didn't. That post was not to the commissioner page. That post was to his personal page. I realized that when I clicked on it and it came up, and I realized last week, about a week ago, he blocked me. So I'm not able to see anything from my personal page. So I stand corrected with that, and I wanted to be open, honest, and transparent with that. So we all know. So we all know that. Right? But I wanted to talk today from the topic of a hit dog will holler. And also before I get into that, I do want to address this, right? I understand that when you're dealing with things, you're dealing with a strategy, right? Most people don't understand strategy or how to do things from a strategic perspective. Most people are only used to an execution thing, right? But when you're thinking strategic and you have a strategic mindset, one thing to think about is that there's a method to the madness. There's a methodology. There's a process, right? And there's an increased number of people who are asking the question of, why things are being just talked about, right? Just talked about. Just want to let everybody know that the goal is to first raise awareness. In order to raise awareness, there has to be a consistency. There has to be a consistency in how it's presented so that the awareness in the community can be raised. Once that's done, then you can transition on to what we call another phase. You have different phases, right? If you're doing a planning for an operation, right? You have your planning phase. Then you have your coordination phase. Then you have your execution. And then you have your AAR, your after action review. And so with some people may not understand those processes, and I can understand it, but I just want people to understand this about raising awareness. When we raise awareness, one thing about it, and two things for sure, there's been a lot of misinformation being provided to the community. When I say a lot, I mean a lot of misinformation, years of misinformation. And this morning was another prime example, right? This morning is another prime example. And this is what I said, a hit dog will holler. This leads me to what I'm saying. This morning on the WJUS, and I'm going to go to it, and I said it, this morning on the WJUS radio station, the 94.3 FM, Albert got on his morning show. It's like 7:30. He got on there this morning and he straight lied. This is what he did. And this is what I call trying to control the narrative, but just lying. Albert said this. Albert said that people, and he talking about me, they said people saying I stole $40 million. I've never said Albert stole $1. I've never said that. You can go back and look at all of my posts that I've been posting. You can search my post. You can search it and you will see I have never once said that anybody stole anything. What I did say was, right? I did say this, and this is my post, right? It's on my page. And I started off, I said, accountability is asking for proof of what you said you did, which is not the same as saying you stole anything, right? But on the radio station this morning, Albert said that I said that he stole $40 million. And I said, this is another shameful attempt to mislead and spread more misinformation to the community. The statement that was made, which I made it yesterday in my post concerning Albert Fitzgerald Turner, and I said, Perry County Commission Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner has announced over $43 million in funding since 2022. And I went on and I laid out from his page, it's his page, his words of his announcements of the money that he said that he secured for Perry County. That came out to be roughly a little bit over $43 million. I never once said he stole anything. But he went on the radio today and he said that I said that he stole it because he's trying to create a narrative that say that I'm alleging that he stole anything. No, if you go to it, you will see the question that I asked at the end of those 21 different posts from his page of him claiming to secure funding in grants and in loans. I asked the question. I said, out of the announced $43 million in funding by Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner, what tangible results has the community witnessed? Now, this is the thing. In that post, I shared 21 different times that Albert Turner from 2020 to 2026 has shared on his Perry County Commissioner District 1 page. I shared every last one of them with the link to it, with the exception of one, and that one was from 2022 from the Black Belt News Network when they did an article about the $600,000 grant that at the time Sheriff Billy Jones announced that they was going to be using to upgrade the jail. Hey, Albert, what did I say you stole something? See, you got on there this morning and they said hit dog will holler. You the one talking about stealing. Albert, you the one talking about you never been indicted for stealing or for money. Why are you bringing that up right now? Why are you so pressed about that? Are you concerned that now that people aren't just talking, but people coming for them contracts, people coming for them invoices, people coming for those bids? Oh, and I'm coming too. And you scared because you know you've been lying. You know you've misappropriated, allegedly misappropriated and mismanaged those funds. You know that. And you know that is what's going to hold up in court. And Albert, I want to inform you of this, my boy. I want to inform you of this, right? The whole focus of everything, and you can try to act like you ain't worried about me, but you is. But the whole focus is to educate, to elevate. Educate to elevate. And if people can't understand that, then it's not for them, right? But what's for you to know, and I'm speaking directly to you. I'm not talking about that elected official. I'm talking about Albert Fitzgerald Turner. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking directly to you the same way I talk to you face to face. I'm not cowering down. I'm not using no other term. I'm talking to you directly as a man. You won't look me in the eye. You couldn't even look me in the eye. But I will tell you this. I will be, this Friday, Albert, I signed out of the military. I'm coming home, my boy. I'm coming home. And as soon as week after next, I will be registered to vote. I will be a returning resident of Perry County. And you will be getting my official records request for all of that. And Albert, even though I anticipate you stalling and slow dragging it, don't worry about that, my boy. I'm gonna burn the candle from both ends of the stick. Because Albert, this is what you don't understand. This is what you underestimated about the people. Everything that you get, if you got a Delta Regional grant, if you got a USDA grant, if you got a grant from ADECA, if you got a grant from the federal government, you always have to submit paperwork up there. If it's the federal government, Albert, it's called the Freedom of Information Act, my boy. And I can request all of those. I can request every last one of those. And I will request them. If it's at the state level, it's the Alabama Open Records Act. And I will request all of that. You know why, Albert? Because that money belongs to the people of Perry County. And guess what? The same thing I've been doing, I will let the people of Perry County know of all of that stuff, all of those contracts, all of those invoices, all of those bids, all of that stuff. You can slow drag it. You can slow drag it all you want to at the county level. It doesn't matter because you still have a timeline to abide by. You can come up with unreasonable fees. You can do that, my boy. But I want you to also understand this too, because I asked you straight to your face. Did Perry County have a written rules about, they had a written rule about, does Perry County has a handbook or policy about the, how to request records. So there's no published, amount on fees. Just like I shared an example on my page. And this is for everybody that always were, well, what about the solutions? I share solutions on my page. I shared an examples. I provided that. Many people back home don't want solutions because they're used to getting crumbs and handouts for those that have been holding our community down by doing corrupt things and not doing things in an efficient manner. See, what you messed up with, my boy, is you underestimated the power of the people. You never respect the people. You think the people in Perry County is slow. That's what you think. That's what you thought. And what is happening right now is you can't handle the pressure. He can't handle the pressure. Henry, Albert been talking about me for the last 4 Sundays. He even said at the Dr. Martin Luther King breakfast, he talked about me. At the Jimmy Lee Jackson event they had last week, he talked about me. But then gonna get up here and say that I ain't no concern. Man, you worried. You try to say, well, y'all know, hold on, let me get something to drink real quick. Let me get something to drink. He said that, hold on, let me get me what he say. That's why, I ain't even, responding to it. All of the lies and, criticism for people with a political agenda. Yeah, I ain't even, no, you ain't responding because you can't. Because you lied. I showed that you lied. I showed the receipts with the links, with the date time groups. And for everybody that don't understand, for everybody that do not understand, right, how evidence works, I'm going to give you a little pointers. One thing that I learned as a commissioned officer and a company commander is that I had in the military, right? In the military, as a commanding officer, you have what we call uniform code of military justice. It's non-judicial punishment that you have authority at your level. If you're a company commander, you have it at your level. If you're a battalion commander, you have it at your level, and so forth, right? It goes all the way to a Article 15, right? All the way up to you can choose to go court martial, right? So I just want to say non-judicial punishment. One thing that I learned as a company commander is that when you say a soldier violates a rule, when a soldier violates a rule, the soldier has rights too. So say the soldier is late to formation, the soldier disrespected somebody. We do what we call in the Army, we put it on what we call a counseling form, a DA form, a Department of the Army form 4856. And you go in there, you put the information in there, and you got the date. They want legal advises us to put the details in there. What the date is, on or about the time, where the location is, you put all of that in there. Why? Because when you are holding people accountable and they have legal representation, you want dates and times. Y'all wonder why. This is for the people that don't understand. This is for the people that say, man, I got it, man, but that man be writing a whole essay or thesis. I write date time groups. I write on this date. This person said, here's the link. And I quote exactly what they said. It's the reason why I do that. So that now when I get them documents, when other people get those documents, they have a repository. They can go back and get date time groups, right? They can get those and then they can attach that with that. Because when we want people to investigate, they're going to know what is this associated with? What is this going to? See, when you don't have an understanding, when people don't have an understanding, they are quick to assume. But I'm going to tell you what assume is. If you spell the word assume, you will get A-S-S-U-M-E. A-S-S-U-M-E means A-S-S-U-me. Y'all get that, right? So if and the Bible saying all that get understanding, right? Yep. And you are right, Shawan Riser. It's more like a memorandum for record that is admittable into the court of law. Look, people don't understand this, right? It's a reason why I send emails. If I talk to people on the phone, guess what they can say? I ain't never said that. If I send a text message, if I send an email, if I send a DM, oh, it's there. That's records. And the thing is, the reason why Albert has never responded back is because it's his own words. And he's too ashamed because he's been exposed for the megalomaniac that he is. He's been exposed for the compulsive liar that he is. The compulsive liar. And listen, it is what it is. And listen, this ain't nothing personal. Everybody want to make this personal. Everybody want to talk about this person. I have never said one thing personal. Everything that I talked about by all of these elected officials and we'll talk about is things that happen for them operating in an official capacity. So whatever narrative you want to do, I've been consistent. That's what I've been. I've been consistent. And I would tell you guys this. I want people to understand this and think about this. It wasn't until I started talking about requesting records when all this crazy stuff happening. And people really think getting rid of records is going to save them. But what they don't realize is what people don't realize is this. They don't realize that when you're dealing with government, there are systems in place and there's records in place. You know, one thing I can say, I did it. I got to go back and look at it again. But the ADEM, the Alabama Department of Environmental Management, you can go and you can look at all of the complaints. And I did a query of complaints of Perry County for like the last 10 years. And over the last 10 years, there's been over 300 complaints about water alone in Perry County. The thing that I want the community to understand, we complain a lot and people talk a lot about what's going on, but we don't make complaints. Now, we do it with the water, but how many complaints do we do with Ethics Commission? And this is the thing. Just because something always been done, that don't make it legal. Just because something always been done, that does not make it legal. Like I made a post and shout out to, and then this is the other thing I want to say this, and I'm gonna come back to it. Shout out to the community. Y'all, I want people to understand this, right? The community is sharing information. People's clear, oh, I'm stalking and I'm doing that. No, the community is just aware and they taking pictures. They providing receipts, evidence. The community is getting a lot of people that were afraid before are willing to speak out now. You know why? Because I've been posting for 120 days straight. And people's eyes are opening up with what's really going on. And because people use intimidation tactics before to try to scare people. You know how I know? Because they tried it with me. And I would tell, this is the thing, I'm showing everything. I'm showing everything. And I know the people, you are right. The people are tired. The people are tired of the conditions of what we have. The people are tired of it. But this is the thing. Don't just be tired. It's time to put things in action. It's time to request those records. It's time to file those complaints. It's time to call. Look, y'all don't think that? I want y'all to realize this. I'm going to show y'all power. Last week, a couple of days ago, they made an announcement about the VA. They were going to change how they do ratings for VA. And they were going to change it. Your VA rating is not going to be based off of your medical condition. It's going to be based off of how, like if you got a chronic medical condition, but you take medication and medication make it better, instead of you rating you off of your chronic medical condition, they're going to rate you off how the medicine helping you. Right? That lasts about 3 days. Y'all know why? Y'all know why that lasts about 3 days? Because them veterans spoke up. Them veterans said, hey, that ain't happening. They called their representatives. They called their senators. They called their congressmen. And that thing, the VA director said, hey, that ain't it. That ain't what we doing. Blah, blah, blah. They changed that in about 3 days. Because they knew that they were organized and they weren't going to stop. The same thing is happening. It's happening in Perry County, Hale County, ha-ta-ta-ta, ha-ta-ta-ta. Tune in to the Black Belt Experience tonight and you will see. But Hale County and other places, we tired. We tired. Look, I'm telling people this, man. I'm telling people this. When and I shared it before, I don't expect people to have the same mindset that I have. I don't, right? But I want people to understand this. And I'm going to explain something to people. And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. I'm saying this to provide a perspective, to provide clarity. I'm going to give you guys something, right? I'm going to give you guys something. In the last 26 years, I'm going to share with you guys the places where I went and where I lived at. When I left Alabama, went to Columbus, Georgia to Fort Benning. Went from there, went to Augusta, Georgia to AIT at Fort Gordon. From there, I went to my first duty station at Fort Hood, Texas in Killeen, Texas. After Killeen, Texas, I went and I lived in Weejumbu, Korea at Camp Red Cloud. After Korea, I went and lived in Junction City, Kansas. After Kansas, I went and I came back to Fort Gordon, Augusta, Georgia. After Augusta, Georgia, I went to Fort Lee in Petersburg, Virginia for school. After that, I went and I lived in Grafenwöhr, Germany. I lived in Germany. After that, I came back to Petersburg, Virginia. After Petersburg, Virginia, I went back to Korea, but at this time I went to Tongducheon. I was stationed at Camp Case of Korea. After Korea, I went back to Augusta, Georgia. After Augusta, Georgia, when I was at Fort Riley, I went to Iraq twice. Back in Fort Riley, but after I left Augusta, Georgia, I deployed to Iraq again, Qatar and Iraq. Then I went to Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. After Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, I went to Watertown, New York, where I was stationed at Fort Drum. Then I went to where I'm at right now. I'm getting ready to retire and go back home at Fort Stewart, Georgia. Now, why am I sharing all of that with you? I lived in so many different states. I lived in different countries. I've seen things. And what I want to let people know, there's a lot of people back home who have only lived in the state of Alabama, or may have only visited other places, but not lived. When I tell people back home, the things that we deal with back home, no. Look, I'm in Augusta, Georgia right now. I'm going to turn my camera around. And no, I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this. I'm going to turn my camera around. Y'all see right in front of there? Y'all see that right there? Y'all see on the side of it, it said the city of Augusta, and they got a serial number on it. Y'all see that, right? Everywhere I lived at, they had trash cans. I'm going to share a picture of what the trash cans that they issued out in Uniontown and what it looked like. And some people, because that's all some people know, they may be okay with it. Listen, I want people to think about this. And there's some people around my age. Yeah, I'm closer to 60 than I am 30. I ain't no goddamn spring chicken. I'm closer to 60 than I am 30. But it breaks my heart to come back home, to be coming back home to Uniontown next week. And Uniontown looked better when I was a little kid than what they looked better, and they had way more stuff when I was a little kid than what they got right now. What they got right now. When I was a little kid growing up in Uniontown, we had 2 grocery stores, Clover Farm, Piggly Wiggly. We had AJ's, we had what you call it, it's right there by Piggly Wiggly, the dollar store, right? We had all of those businesses, those food places. We had a lot of stuff. We had the nightclubs, we had all of that. And what people don't realize is the older people, I'm talking about my granddaddy and my grandmama and them, do y'all know they wrote in books about Uniontown that you ain't experienced a Saturday night until you experience a Saturday night in Uniontown, Alabama? So when I come home and I see decapitated buildings and buildings falling down, and I see streets that haven't been repaved in 15, 20 years, and I take pictures of it, and it pisses me off, well, people get mad at me because they say I ain't taking no pictures of the good buildings. And I'm coming back home to live, not to visit. I'm coming back home to live. And if you think I'm going to be quiet about that, man, what they say, you say, you got me bent. And yes, I'm talking about it. I'm not going to sit here and not say it, but I'm also here to help. And it's so funny. It's so funny. Everybody, all those people that got something to say about me, I ain't see them do not one thing as far as with what they're doing or what they have done to help the community. Not one thing. They ain't gonna do nothing but complain. The reason why many of them complain is because they embarrassed. And the reason why they're embarrassed is because, dang, it's almost like, you got, I ain't gonna say that. Don't say that, Robert. You just embarrassed because somebody called it out. And I'm talking about the people that's responsible, the decision makers that are responsible for it. Like this is the thing, like folks get mad because when I talk about the people that's responsible for it, they get mad and in their feelings because they may be kin to them. And that's what they get mad about, but they're not looking at the facts and the reality. The facts and the reality is this. This is the facts and the reality. The facts and the reality for City of Uniontown is our current mayor, Skylar. But our current mayor, Mayor Ron Miller, was on our current mayor, Ron Miller, the city of Uniontown, was on the county commission when they renegotiated the deal. They renegotiated the deal with the landfill. Nobody included Uniontown in the deal. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give y'all a solution. I'm gonna let y'all know this is me. This is what I would do. If I was a city council in Uniontown, I would annex that landfill. I would annex Harvest Select. That both of them are in the city limits. Both of them would be in the city limits. So all of that revenue come to the city. If the county can't sit there and advocate for the city of Uniontown, the city of Uniontown should benefit more from the landfill than the county do. They the ones dealing with the coal ash. They the ones dealing with the smell. They the ones dealing with the stuff from it. They are the ones dealing with it. They ain't even getting no money to fix the road, and the county getting a nickel for every ton. What, that money ain't coming back to Uniontown, Albert, and you know it. And I did a post about it. The landfill gave Perry County about $130,000 the last 2 years for roads. But Ron Miller was on, the same mayor was on the county commission that did not negotiate Uniontown getting something from that landfill. I wouldn't even, look, we wouldn't even left there without Uniontown getting $1 million. I would have made sure that that landfill gave us money that we at least could operate the city budget off of. That anything else is extra. Do y'all understand that? But guess what? Ron Miller been on the city council before, and he been on the county commission before. Now he the mayor. But then when we talk about why we ain't doing that, well, we ain't got no money. Why we ain't got no money? Because we got people that will allegedly look out for themselves instead of looking out for what's the best interest of the community. I would have went to them too. And I'm telling you what I'm going to do when I get back. I ain't no elected official, but I will be going down to the landfill and ask them a question. If they don't want to talk to me, I know who the actual CEO of Waste Management is, and I will send him an email. I want people to understand you have that power. Stop defaulting your power over to folks who talking like they want to seem important, but you don't see no follow through. You don't see nothing come from it, but just talk and rhetoric. Albert, I'm back on you, my boy. Back on you. Why you keep lying on that radio station? This man got on there this morning talking about, this was the first thing he said. I got to drink me some water because, you know, my throat. Oh, and Pam, people aren't really electing folks. These folks getting back in office with absentee ballots. And I'm finna say this. See, Uniontown, I know about y'all sending them Snapchat DMs to people, asking people to vote and paying people to vote, and y'all going back and deleting those DMs. I know about that. I know about y'all allegedly paid people bills to get them. I know about y'all paid people money to vote for certain people. And then y'all, when people come in and say that they want to vote for certain individuals, y'all got people in there misleading these people and lying to these people, taking advantage of elderly folks and illiterate people. I know about that. I know about that. Yeah, allegedly there's a lot of dead folks voting in Perry County. But see, this is the thing. Community. Y'all see that? We need people that see that firsthand and got done. I remember my mama told me she witnessed a person that came to vote in Uniontown for the Uniontown mayor election. When they went in there, they were told that they already voted. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. I'm just letting people know. But Albert, this is what Albert said this morning. Albert said this morning. No, and this is what I want. Yep, James C. Fish. I already know. But the thing I want, this is what I want people to understand. Albert got on there this morning on the radio station talking about he got on there this morning talking about yeah, he said you know and this is always an attempt to pander to Dexter's base, the people that support Dexter, because he's desperate. He's trying to get all types of votes, right? But this we are talking about in Marion. Now, I'm going to let the people in Marion know just how disrespectful he is to y'all. He went back on, I'm going to give y'all a little history lesson on the city of Marion. All the mayors going back and got Mayor Daniels ain't do nothing. The other mayor ain't do nothing. The other mayor ain't do nothing. Tony Long ain't do nothing. And 62 years. They built that water treatment plant 62 years ago by Francis Marion School. And now it seems that people want the current administration, who's the first one to do something about trying to upgrade. They want them to do something overnight. They want them, Mayor Daniels didn't do nothing to upgrade the facilities. Tony Long didn't do nothing to upgrade the facilities, but Dexter and his administration and everybody want them to fix it. Now, Albert, this is what I want to say, right? This is what I want to say. How many under the other former mayors, how many of them had brown, dirty water? How many of them under them that had brown, dirty water? And you keep talking about what all those other mayors did. Albert, Dexter got elected mayor. He got elected mayor on November 2016, my boy. It's 2026. It's 2026. That's 9 years going on 10 years. How much time we need to give? See, that's why I say they don't respect you guys. They don't respect the community. And now, because I come and I talk about it, now they want to try to act like I'm making things personal and I'm trying to be divisive. No, listen, you need 10 years. This is the first time that they actually doing something. No, my boy. If it was your first year and your first term, yes. This is your 10th year. 10th year. My daughter turned 14 today. Cause I'm taking her to do some retail therapy. Y'all pray for me. But my daughter turned 14 today. When Dexter came in office, she was in pre-K. She's going to high school next year. And we still supposed to wait? Oh, yeah, Violet. Yeah, he dogged Dexter before. He said Dexter incompetent, don't know, ran against Dexter twice, and all of a sudden now he trying to play that like all the others. Man, Tony Long ain't been mayor in 10 years. What they got to do with the dirty water today? What they got to do with the mayor getting on there after he got elected and said, I know I was voted to be the mayor for all the people in Marion, but for all my supporters, they come first. And the only reason why he partnered up with Albert because he wanted some absentee ballots to try to win this election. Y'all, listen, make this make sense to me. Mayor Hinton brother ran against Albert for District 1 during the last election 6 years ago. Mayor Hinton brother ran against Albert. Albert won by 101 votes. Albert won by absentee ballots. Albert also allegedly got 2 police officers in Marion to go into a database to try to get information so that he can use against his opponent, Mayor Hinton brother. Those 2 police officers got in trouble for going into that database and sharing that information with Albert. Do y'all know that Albert, and I got the news article and I'm going to share it. Do y'all know Albert turned around and became a chief witness for the Attorney General against those 2 young men? And both of those young men lost their jobs? Mr. Essex son and Mr. Jeter. Both of those young, great officers that came, that was manipulated by an elected official to do something for them, and then he turned around and was a witness against them. And that's the thing that baffles me. For all of these people that's sitting up there and supporting Albert, Albert would throw you under the bus the first time he can. The first time, very first time. Y'all remember that, y'all remember that group Shy? And they just sang that, ooh, da-doo-doo, da-doo, ooh, da-doo-doo. The very first time that Albert will get, he will throw you under the bus. He will do it real quick, 'cause he will do it to save himself. He don't care about nobody else. Albert is thinking for himself. And if Albert won't choose you, he will throw you right under the bus. Albert will throw you under the bus. So if you don't think he will do. Ooh, look, I gotta go back to the studio. But just having a little laugh, I'm dead serious though. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious, right? I keep telling people, this is divine. This is God sent. God is doing it. God is bringing it. God is exposing to the point to where God is answering prayers. See, a lot of people have been praying for years and people have thought that they gotten away with it. And God is opening up God is exposing in 2026. Accountability is coming in 2026. Accountability is coming in 2026. It's not about me. It's not about me. And if some people don't know me, some will get to know me, some that do know me. I don't care nothing. I don't want nothing out of this. Ain't nothing out of this but to do what God tells me. All right. Listen, Shamika, what's in this cup is this Pepsi Zero Wild Cherry. That was in that cup. So I just want to let you know that was in that cup. I don't want nobody, and it's in this Parker cup. Now, Mika, I just left church now. I just left church. But listen, yeah, I know, yeah, I like to have a little fun too. But I'm talking about giving information and providing information to the people. Right? And that's what God is doing. And I said this is divine, but people thought it wasn't. Right? I said it. God is restoring the trust. God is restoring the confidence in the people. The people that have the scripture said this. Hold on. I'm going to go to it. I'm going to read scriptures, right? I'm going to read scriptures. I'm reading the scriptures and I'm going to read the scriptures for you, right? For those people in the back that don't think what I'm talking about. Scripture. All right. This is what the Bible said. These are a few scriptures of what the Bible says about what believers should do for advocacy, right? right? Isaiah 10:1 and 2 said, woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people, making widows their prey and robbing the fatherless, right? All right, let's keep going. Leviticus 19:15-16 said, do not pervert justice. Do not show partiality to the poor or favoritism to the great, right? But judge your neighbor fairly. Do not go about spreading slander among your people. What? That what the scriptures say? Do not do anything that endangers your neighbor's life. I am the Lord. Psalms 82:2-3 said, how long will you defend the unjust and show partiality to the wicked? Defend the weak and the fatherless. Uphold the cause of the poor and oppressed. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. Say it ain't so. Proverbs 31:8-9. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. The word destitute, if you look up the word destitute, that means basic necessities of life. Do we have the basic necessities of life in back home? Look, I want people to understand this. This is the stuff, and this is why I'm like passionate about what I'm doing. I got to buy Starlink and install Starlink to have good internet coming home because we don't have access to broadband high-speed internet back in Uniontown. 82% of Perry County in 2026 don't have access to broadband internet in Perry County. Do you know that restricts people's ability to get remote jobs? But people just talk and they throw up, oh, we got this grant and we partner with this, and people don't see no results of it. Stop all that goddamn talking. Show results. And that's what accountability looks like. Accountability ain't you just talking. So Uniontown, the city council, the mayor, y'all gonna get well acquainted with me, right? The city of Marion, the city council, the mayor, all y'all gonna get well acquainted with me. Perry County, commission, y'all gonna get well acquainted with me. Hale County, Greensboro, y'all gonna get well acquainted with me. Why? You know why? Because I got the right to know. I got a right to know. And you're right, Hicks Johnson. Righteous anger. Righteous anger. You know, it's okay to be misunderstood. I got it, right? And I'm not here for approval. I'm not here for validation. I'm not here for none of that, right? Yeah, I'm not here for none of that. But if you are a politician and you say you're going to do something, I'm going to make sure it's done. I'm going to make sure it's done. So make sure you don't promise. See, it's one thing that I take pride with. As a father, I don't tell my kids nothing that I know that for a fact that I ain't going to be able to do. And my kids will tell you, if I say that I was going to do something and I can't do it, I will call them and tell them I apologize that I'm not going to be able to do that right now. And you talk about somebody who, my daughter called me January of 2024. We was talking on the phone and my daughter said, Dad, you know what? I would really like for you to bring me lunch at school one day. I sat there and I thought, I said, yeah, next month is President's Day. So we'll have a 4-day weekend. So I can leave that Thursday night and I can drive from New York down to Georgia. So if I leave that night, I get there in time enough right before she had to go to lunch. So I can get there and I can get her some food and I can take her some food to eat. Y'all know I drove 14 hours just so I can bring my baby girl something to eat because she asked me to. Because that's my baby girl. If I do that by my kids, why you don't think I do that about where I'm from and what I love about where I'm from? And for everybody, that's the thing. That's just what it is. Love is an action word. I grew up around people who didn't just talk, they actually did it. So that's just how my mindset is wired. Right? And the thing I want people, like, the thing about it is, I ain't going personal. I ain't going down no rabbit hole. Ain't no beef. Ain't none of that. If that's what you own, then you can stay on that. Right? I'm about moving the community forward. I'm about moving the community forward. And McMillan Marie, hey, I'm not talking about that. I'll be talking about that on the Black Belt Experience show tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Right? I'll be talking about that, right? And listen, I ain't saying nothing about that for nobody. I ain't doing that for no likes or nothing. I'm just telling you for what it is, right? I'm just letting y'all know what that is, right? My baby girl, I'm going in within the next 10 minutes. I told her that at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, I'm taking her to Ross. So that's why I'll be taking my baby girl for her birthday. She went out of town, had a good girls weekend this weekend, but I'm here to celebrate my birthday with my baby girl. But for the people, right? For the people, they want the people to understand this. I want the people to understand. I'm coming back home. I ain't coming back home for no trouble. I'm coming back home to demand that we get better, and we will get better. Are we getting better? We getting better. And this is the funny thing. If I had hate for Uniontown, why would I buy a sound system and donate it to the city of Uniontown? Yeah, I know the sound system, the one that they sent, the one that I ordered, I got to send it back because they was missing some components. But guess what? They're going to have a sound system. I got an extra sound system that I can donate to them to use during the city council meeting so that people can hear them until we get that resolved. And I'm bringing that with me next week. Like, it's not about that, man. I'm about moving things forward. But I am going to hold you accountable for what you're supposed to be doing. All of that foolishness, man. All of that foolishness. And you, look, I want people, you can try to delete records and shred them and all that stuff. It don't matter. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Accountability is coming. You should have been doing right all of this time. You should have been doing right all of this time. Look, there's a lot of positive things going on in the community. Don't let people get it twisted. Because everybody want to try to say, the stuff I'm talking about is not negative. I'm talking about holding people accountable, right? But what I see in the Black Belt, see, what I see in the Black Belt. The Black Belt right now, we got a lot of young law enforcement officers. I think we got two very good police chiefs, with Chief Kaiser in Uniontown and Chief Gaines in Marion, right? We got a lot of people, a lot of young people that want to go in law enforcement. Do y'all see the potential with that? We got the potential of training them and investing in them and building people that can have long-standing careers, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's getting these kids. I'm coming back. Not only coming back, I'm doing a lot of stuff, and it ain't just about me, but the community. And when the community realize our power, when the community realize that these people work for us and we ain't just sitting around waiting no more, we gonna start to see a lot of stuff that happens. And the reason why things are the way that they are, because people that got people that got far too goddamn comfortable with not being held accountable and getting away with stuff. And getting away with stuff. And I want everybody to watch this. I want everybody to watch this before I get off. There's a lot of people, I ain't gonna say there's a lot of people, but there's some people that oppose what I'm doing and my methodology. But look what's been happening. Look what has been happening in the surrounding areas with our elected officials. Look what's been happening. People announcing bids online now. People providing a little bit more updates. These elected officials know that the community is watching. Things are happening. Things are moving. People are accelerating promises and not just empty rhetoric. You've seen changes in county commissions holding other people accountable. Things are happening. But it's time. This ain't an individual thing. This is about a collective effort for the community. Because we are the ones that are responsible for letting it get to where it's at right now. But not we ain't gonna do it no more. And if Skylar Washington is watching right now, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I didn't say it earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. We got to stop being mad. Many of us in the community, this is how we act. We act like we know we got roaches in our house, but then we want to act shame when somebody come over and they see a roach and they say, hey, you got a roach. So we want to get offensive about people saying that we got roaches, but we already knew we got roaches. And that's the mindset that a lot of people have back home when we talking about what's wrong back home. We take a picture on, man, y'all, you could have took a picture of the good building. Did you see the other 35? You driving down Cedar Bluff. Look, have you driven down Cedar Bluff Road behind the back of Hat School? Have you driven on the road? You can't even ride a skateboard. It is what it is. And I just want people to understand it. You know, it's all about raising awareness. I said this earlier, a hit dog will holler. Albert, you lied this morning. I never said you stole a dime. And you putting out talking about I said you stole $40 million. Now, what you don't like is all them lies and all the fabrications you put out, and your boy just show receipts. And Albert, you have not one time out of all of the posts refuted anything that I said. But you go back to your people and talk about, y'all know me. Yeah, they know you lie. Y'all know me. The people know that you be trying to do this undermining stuff and be do like this payola. Y'all know me. No, they know that you are a compulsive liar. That's what they know. I want the people to understand this. If you knew the reputation that Perry County have about Albert Turner, it will open up your eyes about a lot of different things. If you knew. And the funny thing is, when people know you about business, they don't come with you no foolishness. And you know what? I equate this to this, right? I equate this to this. For anybody, I'm the type of person that's like this. If you come to me about something about somebody else, I'm gonna say, hold up, let's call this person. So I'm that type of person. And the reason why I'm that type of person is I don't want you to feel comfortable that you can come to me about somebody else. Go to them themselves, right? Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because there's a lot of people who like to go through other folks. No, I'm gonna tell you, I want you to go directly to it because I don't want no secondhand information. I don't want no secondhand information because I'm not gonna come at you secondhand. And ain't no, listen, I want people to understand this. Ain't never been about no beef, about nothing like that. I ain't got nothing personal against Albert. Just stop lying. And all these elected officials, accountability and transparency is no longer optional. And if I lied today, if I misspoke today, please provide me with verifiable proof that I lied. And as loudly as I was holding you accountable, I will come back on and I will be as loud about saying I made a mistake. The same thing that I did today when I said that I misspoke about Albert blocking or deleting a post. He didn't delete a post. He blocked me from his personal page, and that link was to his personal page. So, hey, tune in tonight on the Black Belt Experience at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. All of these videos that I do, these lives, look, they go into a repository on YouTube on Educate to Elevate 334. Educate to Elevate 334. If you do at Educate 2 Elevate 334, you can go subscribe. All of these are being uploaded because, you know, after 30 days, Facebook delete them. We keeping receipts. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day. God bless.